My forbidden affair destroyed everything. That is the truth. My name is Victoria. I am 28 years old. I had a good life. I had a husband who loved me. I had a beautiful home. I had friends. I had plans for the future, but I threw it all away. I made a terrible mistake. I kept a dark secret. And now my life is in ruins. I want to tell you my story. I want to tell you the truth. It is hard to speak about this. My heart beats fast when I remember. My hands shake. But I must tell you, I do not want you to make the same mistake. I want you to learn from my pain. Let me start at the beginning. 3 years ago, my life was perfect. Or, at least, it looked perfect. I was married to a man named Mark. Mark was a good man. He was 30 years old. He worked in a bank. He was kind. He was gentle. He never raised his voice. He helped me cook dinner. He washed the dishes. He remembered my birthday. He brought me flowers on Sundays. Everyone told me I was lucky. My mother said, "Victoria, Mark is a good husband. Keep him close." My friends said, "You have a fairy tale life." I smiled at them. I said, "Yes, I am happy." But inside, I was not happy. I was bored. It is a strange feeling. I had everything, but I felt empty. Mark was safe. Mark was predictable. Every day was the same. We woke up at 7 o'clock. We ate toast and drank coffee. Mark went to work. I went to my job at a flower shop. We came home. We ate dinner. We watched television. We went to sleep. Day after day, week after week, month after month. I wanted excitement. I wanted fire. I wanted to feel something strong. Mark was like calm water. I wanted a storm. I felt guilty for these thoughts. Mark was so good to me. One evening, we were sitting on the sofa. Mark held my hand. "Are you okay, Victoria?" he asked. His eyes were full of worry. "I am fine," I lied. "I am just tired." He kissed my forehead. "Rest, my love. I will make you tea." He went to the kitchen. I watched him go. I felt a pain in my chest. Why could I not be happy? Why was his love not enough? I did not know the answer then. I know the answer now, but it is too late. Then I met Daniel. It was a Tuesday. It was a rainy day in November. The sky was gray. The wind was cold. I was walking home from the flower shop. I did not have an umbrella. The rain fell on my face. My hair was wet. My clothes were cold. I ran into a small coffee shop to wait for the rain to stop. The shop was warm. It smelled of coffee and sugar. I stood by the door, shaking the water from my coat. "You look cold," a voice said. I turned around. A man was standing there. He was tall. He had dark hair and dark eyes. He was very handsome. He did not look like Mark. Mark had a soft face. This man had a strong face. He looked dangerous. He looked exciting. "I am very cold," I said. My voice was quiet. "Let me buy you a coffee," he said. He smiled. His smile was not gentle. It was confident. I am married, I thought. I should say no. But I did not say no. I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to feel that excitement. Okay, I said, thank you. We sat at a small table near the window. The rain hit the glass. It was dark outside, but it was bright inside. My name is Daniel, he said. I am Victoria, I replied. Victoria, he said my name slowly. That is a beautiful name for a beautiful woman. My face felt hot. Mark told me I was beautiful, but it felt different when Daniel said it. Daniel looked at me with intensity. He looked deep into my eyes. I felt nervous. I felt alive. We talked for an hour. Daniel was an artist. He painted pictures. He traveled to many countries. He told me stories about Paris, about Rome, about the sea. His life sounded like a movie. My life sounded small and gray. I must go, I said finally. My husband is waiting. Daniel's face changed. He looked disappointed, but he smiled again. A husband, he said. He is a lucky man. Does he know how lucky he is? Yes, I said, but I was not sure. Will I see you again, Victoria? Daniel asked. I stood up. I put on my coat. My heart was beating very fast. Maybe, I said. I walked home in the rain. I did not feel cold anymore. I felt fire inside me. I opened the door to my house. Mark was in the kitchen. He was making soup. You are late, Mark said. I was worried. The rain is bad. I waited in a coffee shop, I said. I did not mention Daniel. That was my first lie. Come and eat, Mark said. The soup is hot. I ate the soup. It was delicious. But I was thinking about Daniel. I was thinking about his dark eyes. I was thinking about his stories. That night, I could not sleep. I lay in bed next to Mark. Mark was sleeping peacefully. He was breathing slowly. I looked at the ceiling. I felt like I was standing on the edge of a cliff. I knew I should step back, but I wanted to jump. A week passed. I tried to forget Daniel. I focused on my work. I focused on Mark. I cleaned the house. I cooked special dinners. I tried to be a good wife, but the boredom returned. The silence in the house was too loud. One afternoon, I walked past the coffee shop. I did not want to go in. My feet moved on their own. I looked through the window. Daniel was there. He was sitting at the same table. He was drawing in a notebook. He looked up. He saw me. He smiled. I went inside. I knew you would come back, he said. I am just getting coffee, I said. Sit with me, he said. I sat down. And that was the beginning of the end. We started to meet every week. At first, it was just for coffee. We talked. We laughed. Daniel listened to me. He asked me about my dreams. I wanted to be a painter too, I told him. But I was scared. So I work in a flower shop. You should paint, Daniel said. You have passion. I can see it in your eyes. Mark never talked about my passion. Mark talked about paying bills. Mark talked about fixing the car. Mark was practical. Daniel was a dreamer. I felt like Daniel understood me. I felt like he saw the real Victoria. Soon, coffee was not enough. We started to meet for lunch. Then, we went for walks in the park. We walked far away from my house so no one would see us. "Does your husband ask where you are?" Daniel asked one day. "I tell him I am with friends," I said. "Or I am working late." "You are a bad girl, Victoria," Daniel laughed. I laughed too, but it was a nervous laugh. I knew I was doing something wrong. Every time I lied to Mark, a small part of me died. But when I was with Daniel, I felt high. I felt like I was flying. Mark noticed a change in me. "You are happy lately," Mark said one evening. "You are singing in the shower. You bought new dresses." "I am just feeling good," I said. I kissed his cheek. "Do not worry." I felt terrible. Mark was happy because I was happy. But I was happy because of another man. Then came the night that changed everything. It was a Friday. Mark called me from work. "Victoria," he said, "I have to work late tonight. I will be home after midnight. Do not wait for me." "Okay," I said. "I will read a book." I hung up the phone. My hands were shaking. I called Daniel immediately. "Mark is working late," I whispered. "Come to my apartment," Daniel said. I knew this was the line. If I went to his apartment, there was no going back. I stood in my living room. I looked at my wedding photo on the wall. Mark and I looked so young. We looked so innocent. "Don't go," a voice in my head said. "Stay here. Be safe. Be good." "Go," another voice said. "Live your life. Take a risk." I grabbed my keys. I ran out of the house. I drove to Daniel's apartment. His apartment was small and messy. There were paintings everywhere. It smelled of paint and wine. Daniel opened the door. He was wearing a black shirt. He looked at me with hunger. "You came," he said. He pulled me inside. He closed the door. That night, I betrayed my husband. I broke my vows. I gave myself to Daniel. For a few hours, I did not think about Mark. I did not think about the future. I only thought about the present. I felt beautiful. I felt desired. But then the morning came. I woke up in a strange bed. The room was cold. Daniel was asleep beside me. I looked at him. He did not look mysterious anymore. He just looked like a man. The room was dirty. The wine glasses were empty. Panic hit me like a cold wave. "Oh no," I whispered. "What have I done?" I looked at the clock. It was 6 in the morning. Mark, I thought. Mark will be home. I dressed quickly. My hands were shaking so much I could not button my coat. I did not wake Daniel. I did not leave a note. I ran out of the building. I drove home fast. I was crying. The tears blurred my vision. "Please, please," I prayed. "Let Mark be asleep. Let him not know." I arrived at my house. The car was in the driveway. Mark was home. I opened the front door quietly. The house was silent. I took off my shoes. I walked to the bedroom. The bed was empty. My heart stopped. Where was Mark? I walked to the kitchen. Mark was sitting at the table. He was still wearing his work clothes. He looked very tired. He was holding a cup of coffee, but he was not drinking it. He looked up at me. His face was pale. His eyes were red. He had been crying. "Mark," I said. My voice was a whisper. He did not speak. He just looked at me. Then he looked at the table. My phone was on the table. I had left my phone at home in my rush. I forgot it. "You left your phone," Mark said. His voice was flat. It had no emotion. I froze. "Yes, I went for a walk." "At 3 in the morning?" Mark asked. "I couldn't sleep," I lied. Another lie. It tasted like ash in my mouth. "Stop," Mark said. He stood up. He was holding my phone. "You got a message," he said, "from a man named Daniel." My blood turned to ice. "He sent it at midnight," Mark said. He said, "I can't wait for you to be here." And then later, he sent a photo. I closed my eyes. I did not want to hear it. "Where were you, Victoria?" Mark asked. Now his voice was loud. "Where were you all night?" I could not lie anymore. The truth was in the room with us. It was big and ugly. "I was with him," I said. I looked at the floor. I could not look at Mark. There was a long silence. The silence was heavy. It crushed me. "Why?" Mark asked. "Was I not enough? Did I not love you enough?" "You were perfect," I cried. "You were too good. I was stupid. I was bored. I am sorry, Mark. I am so sorry." "Sorry," Mark laughed. It was a sad, broken sound. "You destroyed us, Victoria. You destroyed everything." He walked past me. He went to the bedroom. I heard him open the closet. I heard the sound of a suitcase. "Mark, please." I ran after him. "Please, let's talk. We can fix this." He was packing his clothes. He threw his shirts into the bag. He did not look at me. "There is nothing to fix," he said. "The trust is gone. Without trust, there is no marriage." "I will never see him again," I screamed. It was a mistake. One night. It meant nothing. Mark stopped. He looked at me. His eyes were cold now. "It meant nothing to you," he said. "But it meant everything to our marriage. You chose him. You chose to leave this house. You chose to lie." He sipped the bag. He walked to the door. "Mark, don't leave me." I grabbed his arm. He pulled his arm away. He looked at me like I was a stranger. "I cannot look at you," he said. "I see him when I look at you. Goodbye, Victoria." He walked out the door. He got in his car. He drove away. I stood in the driveway. I watched his car disappear. I fell to my knees. I screamed. I cried until my throat hurt. I was alone. For the next few weeks, I lived in a nightmare. The house was so quiet. Mark's things were gone. The closet was half empty. I stopped eating. I stopped sleeping. I waited for the phone to ring. I waited for Mark to come back. He never came back. He sent a lawyer. He wanted a divorce. He did not want to talk to me. He wanted to sell the house. I tried to call Daniel. I thought, at least I have Daniel. I went to the coffee shop. He was not there. I went to his apartment. I knocked on the door. A stranger opened it. "Where is Daniel?" I asked. "He moved out," the stranger said. 2 days ago. He said he was going to Italy." I felt sick. Daniel was gone. He did not say goodbye. He did not care about me. To him, I was just a game. I was just a fun night. To Mark, I was his life. And I threw away the life for the game. I lost everything. I lost my husband. I lost my home. We had to sell the house. I moved into a small, ugly apartment. It has one window. It looks at a brick wall. I lost my friends too. They heard the story. They took Mark's side. "How could you do that?" they asked. Mark was a saint. They stopped calling me. They stopped inviting me to parties. Now 6 months have passed. My life is very different. I wake up alone. I drink coffee alone. I go to work. I come home. I sit in my small room. I have a lot of time to think. I think about Mark every day. I wonder where he is. I wonder if he is happy. I hope he finds a woman who deserves him. A woman who is loyal. A woman who knows that a quiet life is a good life. I think about my mistake. I thought the grass was greener on the other side. I thought excitement was better than stability. I was wrong. Excitement is like a firework. It is bright and beautiful for 1 second. Then it is gone, and you are left in the dark. Love, real love, is like a fire in a fireplace. It is not always wild. It keeps you warm. It lasts a long time. But you have to feed it. You have to protect it. I let my fire go out. And now I am cold. Sometimes I see couples in the park. I see them holding hands. I see them laughing. I want to run to them. I want to shake them. Cherish this. I want to scream. Do not let it go. Do not look for something better. You have the best thing right here. But I say nothing. I just walk past them. I am the woman with the sad eyes. I am the cautionary tale. I am learning to live with myself. It is hard. I look in the mirror, and I see a traitor. But I am trying to forgive myself. I am trying to become a better person. I work hard now. I read books. I am learning to paint like I always wanted. But I paint sad pictures. I paint rain. I paint empty rooms. Why do I tell you this? I tell you because temptation is real. It is easy to be bored. It is easy to think, I deserve more fun. Maybe you have a partner who is kind but boring. Maybe you meet someone new who makes your heart race. Maybe you think, no one will know. Please listen to me. The secret will come out. It always does. Lies are heavy. You cannot carry them forever. And even if no one finds out, you will know. You will look at your partner and you will feel the guilt. It will eat you from the inside. Do not trade a diamond for a stone, just because the stone is shiny. Daniel was a shiny stone. Mark was a diamond. I lost my diamond. I am Victoria. This is my story. It is a sad story, but it is true. If you have love, hold it tight. Do not let go. Do not make my mistake. Being alone is a cold place. The silence in my apartment is very loud tonight. But I must go on. I must wake up tomorrow. I must drink my coffee. I must live with my choices. Thank you for listening to me. I hope you have a wonderful life. I hope you stay true to the ones you love. Good night. Wait, I want to tell you one more thing. Before I go, I want to share a small moment from yesterday. It is important. I was at the grocery store. I was buying milk and bread. I was standing in line. I looked ahead. I saw a man. He was wearing a blue coat. He had brown hair. My heart stopped. It looked like Mark. I wanted to call his name. Mark. The man turned around. It was not Mark. It was a stranger. He looked at me. "Excuse me," he asked. "I am sorry," I said. "I thought you were someone else." I walked out of the store. I sat on a bench. I cried. It happens often. I see him in crowds. I see him in cars. My mind looks for him everywhere. This is the punishment of betrayal. You are haunted by what you lost. I remember one Sunday morning with Mark. It was sunny. We were making pancakes. There was flour on my nose. Mark laughed. He wiped the flour off with his thumb. "You are messy," he said. "I am an artist," I joked. He hugged me. "I love you, Messy Victoria." That moment was worth more than all the nights with Daniel. That simple, boring, messy moment was pure gold. And I did not see it. I was blind. Now I see clearly. But I am looking at an empty chair. I am sharing this because I know some of you are feeling restless. I read the comments sometimes on other videos. People say, "My husband doesn't understand me," or "My wife is always tired." It is normal to feel this way. Relationships are work. They are not always a movie. But do not seek comfort in the arms of a stranger. Talk to your partner. Tell them you are bored. Tell them you need a change. Go on a trip together. Start a hobby together. Fight for your love. Do not throw it away. I wish I had told Mark, "I am bored. Let's do something new." He would have listened. He would have tried. He loved me that much. But I took the easy way. I took the selfish way. I hope that one day Mark is happy. I hope he is laughing again. I hope he forgets the pain I caused him. As for me, I am rebuilding. Slowly, brick by brick. I joined a hiking group. I walk in nature on weekends. The fresh air helps. I am making new friends. They do not know my past. They just know Victoria, the quiet woman who likes flowers. I am trying to be honest. I promised myself, no more lies, not even small lies. Truth is the only way to be free. My apartment is still small, but I bought a plant. It is a green, living thing. I water it every day. I watch it grow. It reminds me that life goes on. Even after a storm, things can grow again. It will take time, maybe years, but I will survive. If you are on the edge, if you are thinking about crossing the line, step back. Look at what you have. Really look at it. Is it worth losing? Imagine your life without it. Imagine the empty closet, the silence, the regret. If you can imagine that, and it doesn't scare you, then maybe leave. But leave with honor. Leave with truth. Do not cheat. Do not betray. Be brave enough to be honest. That is my final advice to you. I am going to make tea now. I will sit by my window. I will look at the stars. They are the same stars that I looked at with Mark. They are the same stars I looked at with Daniel. The stars do not care about my mistakes. They just shine. I will try to shine again too, but a different kind of light. A steady light, a true light. Goodbye, my friends. Be good, be true, and love deeply. This is Victoria, signing off.